Pegula clinches 10th career title with clinical Dubai victory over Svitolina. Jessica Pegula solidified her status as the most consistent force on the WTA Tour this Saturday, defeating a visibly fatigued Alina Svitolina 6-2, 6-4 to claim the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships title. The victory marks a major milestone for the 31-year-old American, as it secures her 10th career singles title and her 4th at the WTA 1000 level, joining her prestigious trophies from Guadalajara, 2022, Montreal, 2023, and Toronto, 2024. Pegula's clinical performance in the final was the culmination of a machine-like week where she navigated a treacherous draw, including a gritty comeback against world number 6 Amanda Anisimova in the semifinals. With a 13-2 record to start 2026, Pegula has now reached the semifinals or better in 7 consecutive tournaments, a streak of consistency rarely seen in the modern game. "It's a great birthday present for me," Pegula said. "I get to celebrate by flying back home in a few hours. Super happy to go home with the trophy. It was a great week." Svitolina now number 9 while Pegula was imperial, the story of the final was also one of physical limits. Svitolina entered the match having spent over 7 hours on court across her previous 3 rounds, most notably a 3-hour, 3-minute marathon against Coco Gauff that concluded just before midnight on Friday. That semifinal featured a 28-point tiebreak, the longest of the 2026 season, which clearly left the Ukrainians' gas tank near empty. Despite the heavy legs, Svitolina's fighting spirit was on full display as she refused to let Pegula cruise, saving break points late in the second set to force the American to serve it out. For Svitolina, despite the loss, the week remains a triumph. Reaching her first WTA 1000 final as a mother and returning to the world's top 10 is an extraordinary feat of resilience. She leaves Dubai ranked number 9 in the world and sitting at number 3 in the race to Riyadh. Meanwhile, Pegula moves within striking distance of the world number 4 spot, under the desert sky of Dubai, where glass towers shimmer like mirages and the night air carries a hush of expectation. Jessica Pegula stood on the brink of something both familiar and newly profound. Across the net, resolute and unyielding, was Alina Svitolina, a competitor forged in resilience. By the end of the evening, Pegula had carved her name deeper into the hard courts of the Middle East, clinching her 10th career title with a victory that was as clinical as it was commanding. This was not a triumph of fireworks and frenzy. It was a masterclass in precision, tennis distilled to geometry, patience, and nerve. The architecture of control. Pegula has long been known for her clarity on court. There is little excess in her game, no reckless flourishes, no indulgent detours into low-percentage drama. Instead, she builds points like an architect. Blueprint first, execution second, celebration last. From the opening game, her strategy was apparent. She pressed Svitolina deep behind the baseline with relentless depth, forcing the Ukrainian to defend from uncomfortable territory. Pegula's backhand, flat and unerring, skidded through the court with a sound like paper slicing air. It was not loud tennis, it was decisive tennis. Svitolina, renowned for her defensive mastery and counterpunching instincts, attempted to stretch rallies into attritional duels. She chased down balls that seemed lost to gravity, redirecting pace with feline elasticity. Yet Pegula's patience proved unbreakable. Each rally was a quiet negotiation, and Pegula rarely conceded ground. The first set slipped into her grasp not with a roar but with a steady tightening. Game by game, point by point, the American applied pressure until resistance frayed. The Middle Eastern crucible. Dubai's courts reward clarity. The ball moves true, the bounce honest but brisk. Under such conditions, hesitation is punished. Pegula, reading the surface like a seasoned navigator, trusted her timing. Her serve, often understated in reputation, found corners with surgical intent. There was a moment midway through the second set when Svitolina threatened resurgence. A break point materialized, carved out through grit and a sequence of angled returns. The stadium stirred. But Pegula responded not with panic, but with a pair of serves that kissed the lines, followed by a rally finished with a backhand so clean it felt inevitable. In that sequence lived the essence of her evening. Threat met with composure, Pressure answered with clarity that a duel of resolve. Svitolina's presence in a final carries emotional weight. Her career has been interwoven with perseverance, through injuries, through personal milestones, through representing her homeland in turbulent times. On court, she embodies defiance, but Pegula's calm can be disarming. Where others emote, she recalibrates. Her footwork remained light, her gaze steady. Between points, she paced with deliberate calm, a metronome of focus. The rallies lengthened. Angles sharpened. Yet Pegula refused to be drawn into impatience. She redirected Svitolina's pace down the line at critical junctures, opening the court like a chess player removing the final defender. When match point arrived, it did not feel sudden. It felt earned. That a final exchange, measured, probing, ended with Svitolina's reply sailing just long. Pegula exhaled, her arms lifting not in wild abandon but in quiet acknowledgement. 10 titles. A milestone wrapped in understatement. The meaning of 10th career title is more than a statistic. It is a testament to durability. The professional tour is a grind measured in flights, recoveries, and recalibrations. To reach double digits is to prove that success was not accidental but sustained. For Pegula, this victory signified evolution. She has hovered among the sport's elite, often reaching deep rounds, consistently contending. Yet titles are tangible punctuation marks in a career's narrative. They are validation rendered in silverware. Dubai, with its luminous skyline and cosmopolitan pulse, provided an apt backdrop. The city thrives on ambition realized, visions rising from sand into steel and glass. Pegula's journey mirrors that ascent, steady construction rather than sudden spectacle. Clinical, not cold. There is a misconception that clinical tennis lacks emotion. In truth, it requires emotional discipline of the highest order. Pegula's brand of control demands trust, in preparation, in instinct, in resilience. Throughout the match, her expressions remained composed, but her intensity simmered beneath the surface. Every calculated cross-court exchange was fueled by competitive fire. Every well-timed approach shot carried conviction. Svitolina, ever the fighter, pushed until the final ball. She forced Pegula to earn each inch. Yet the American's margin for error seemed narrower than ever before. Her timing precise, her decision-making unwavering. In sport, dominance can be loud or quiet. This was quiet dominance. The broader canvas. Women's tennis thrives on stylistic contrasts. The power baseliners, the defensive retrievers, the aggressive net rushers, all share the same rectangle of possibility. Pegula's victory in Dubai reinforced the value of balance. She does not overpower with brute force. She dissects with placement. She does not dazzle with theatricality. She persuades with persistence, and yet, beneath that composure lies hunger. 10 titles are not an endpoint but a foundation. Each one sharpens belief. As the trophy gleamed beneath stadium lights, Pegula allowed herself a fuller smile. Around her, applause echoed against.